Hello guys, what is happening? Welcome back to a brand new video. So I wasn't planning to watch this or actually make a video on it, but because a teacher surprisingly asked me to, I watched it, and I'm actually glad I did, because it was a very, in my opinion, good, solid interview. It had good points being raised, it was good quality, it was fun to watch. And it really shows how good of a relationship Piers and Trump have. I actually have just a couple notes on the whole situation, and I will be talking about it in a video. So a lot of points were raised. It was actually held in a place in Switzerland, Davos, and at the start it showed you how good friends Trump and Piers has, because Piers won the apprenticeship on Trump's show. I think it was around 10 years ago, and they've been friends ever since then. So he was asked a lot of questions. The first question, or one of the first he was asked at the start, was, in my opinion, a pretty weird question. He was asked if he really actually wanted to win the election, which, if you think about it, Donald Trump is a very good business person, and he very much wants to win in a lot of cases. You know, he shows himself as a bold, very out there sort of guy, and of course he wanted to win. His campaign, he stuck with it. There was a lot of people near the end of the election who actually went to his campaigns, cheered him on, all the supporters, and of course he wanted to win, and he did. It's too late now, because he already did win. Very bold, brave, and I'm glad he won. So he did win. Of course he wanted to win. He really stuck with his campaign for a pretty long time, and he's always been talking about different countries, and he always has been sort of smart in that sense, and sort of, talking about it. So of course he was interested in helping the US, and that's why he gathered to become the president, and that's why he is the president. People also think during his 12 months in the office he's done nothing. But he has stated that the unemployment rate has been very low. There's a lot of people getting jobs that haven't before, like black women. The unemployment rate has gone down for them a lot, which means that more people are getting jobs. Apple actually made a lot more campuses and got out a lot more jobs and spent a lot of money on it, which is really showing just one good example of how the economy is really boosting. Okay? I can't go on and talk about it because I don't know everything about it, but it's just common sense to actually look and see how far the US has come and how much more stable and better they're becoming in that sense. And tweeting had to be brought up, because everyone loves to talk about Trump's tweeting. And I did really agree with what Trump had to say on this. He said it's a modern day form of communication. I myself talk a lot on social media and YouTube. YouTube is a good example of my communication. Right now I'm communicating to you. I use Twitter, I use Instagram, I use Snapchat. Communicating, especially for someone who is the US president, is very good, because it tells us what he's doing, tells us what he's thinking. And it is really important for him to be tweeting. It is a good way for him to defend himself against all the people saying he's racist, sexist, misogynistic, and instead of making loads of news reports all the time, actually him coming out on Twitter, talking, is a very, very good way for him to defend himself and be bold. It is also good, like I said, for sending out information to the US, to the rest of the world, about what's happening, about what he's doing, about what other news is happening, and that, I believe, is very important and very good. He does most of his tweeting You know, he is pretty busy, so if he thinks of something good to tweet, he may say to other people in the office to tweet it for him. But it is mainly him in control of his Twitter. Now, it also came, of course he's not going to identify as a feminist, especially not a third wave feminist, because third wave feminism is pretty toxic. Women have got a lot of, like, they got voting rights, you know, they got the right to vote. They have become more important. They are getting into more jobs, which is good. You know, it is good that they're becoming more recognised. But it's gotten to the point where they're just wanting more and more. You know, women have more rights over children, you know, custody. Women have much more rights. And it's getting to the point where, especially third wave feminism, they are going against men because they're wanting everything. They're wanting themselves to be first, and you're getting superiority. You know, if women, feminists, are wanting much more, they're wanting superiority. You look at that equal pay ad, where there was this woman who, you know, she said she wanted more, and she was going into her boss's office and smashing cups. I think it was like a shoe company or something. You know, when feminists are just wanting superiority, they're not for equality. They just bring up women all the time. Not everything is a woman's problem. You know, there's a lot of problems that we share that are for both men and women. Sometimes there are some forms of sexism, but it isn't as big as feminists are making it out to be. But Trump has said that some of the things he may have said in the past, you know, he has apologised for, and, you know, he's becoming a better person. And, you know, he's got his wife, you know, he has his daughters, he has loads of women working around him, and he has really become a better person and evolved, you know. And I feel that is important. You know, there's mistakes I've made, there are mistakes other people made, and evolving, becoming a better person is really important. So I feel that he isn't sexist and racist as everyone says. I feel that he's learnt from his mistakes in the past, and he has, you know, there have been a lot of women voters that have voted for him and voted against Hillary, who was a woman, you know what I mean? So why would he have gotten so many female voters? You know, there's a lot of women that have supported him. Talking about something else, so that was about women and feminism. It turns out his brother and his mother are from Scotland, and he is a massive fan of the UK in general. The fact that people are saying, oh, you can't come here because of things you've said in the past, things you've done, the way you handle things. He is very bold, I'll admit that. He is very, like, not caring of the reaction. I will admit that. I do agree with what he says, but I'll admit that he's very bold in the way he presents himself. You know, he's always been like that. He's always been bold, contagious, you know. But it is really disappointing to him that people want him banned from the UK, even though he's a massive fan of the UK. They also brought up Brexit, which he actually called. You know, the UK wants to be separate from Europe because Europe is very controlling and a lot of rules. Also, the UK wants more custody of the borders, you know, they want to control what people get in the country, you know, and you can't have floods of loads and loads and loads and loads of people coming in, which I'm really glad that is changing. He's also said that he is for trade deals with the UK, you know, so that is pretty good. Most of the Brexit stuff is just people fear-mongering, you know. So I feel he is very much for the UK and for trade deals. People haven't, you know, they're saying that he can't come in because of the things he said and done. I personally feel that he should be allowed to come in. I think he is allowed in, but he didn't accept an invitation because he felt it was a threat to his life or something along those lines. Which, you know, it's always safety first, you know. Something else first, or Britain first. He did retweet those tweets because he is very much against radical Islamic terrorist attacks. I feel like I do actually like Trump for speaking up against that. You know, there's a lot of people that are scared to, a lot of people are going to call him racist. He wasn't aware that the Britain First itself as a group weren't very good people. You know, they weren't verified on Twitter. They had a lot of racist thoughts. Someone in America, it wasn't as big in America as it was in the UK, so he wasn't aware of how racist it was. But he did take it back, and he did apologise, and I feel that that is the correct thing to do, and that's what you can do moving forward. You know, he has said that he isn't against all Muslims, you know, what people believe. He has a lot of Muslim supporters. It's just, there's a bad person, there's a bad person, and there's more people becoming radicalized, and he's just trying to stop them. And, you know, he actually has done a good job, because ISIS in Iraq and Syria, Trump has helped to stop. And they are everywhere. There's a lot of terrorism happening around the world, and actually helping to stop that, vetting the country more, and helping to do, you know, things that you can do is very good. He has said that he's against banning guns, and talking about gun laws, he feels the gun laws that the US have are fine. There have been a lot of attacks. People, you know, have got guns and made a lot of attacks. Piers Morgan is very much against guns and for, you know, tight gun laws and against guns. But Trump has said this: people that would use guns for not for self-defense, but for evil and exposing the sick people that they are. If they didn't have guns, they'd use bombs. They'd use something else. And I agree with that. But I do want to say this. I believe the US should have tighter gun controls. As in, they shouldn't, you know, they should go through more steps in order to be able to get a gun. Because you can just walk into a shop, get a gun. You know, it is pretty easy once you break it down. I feel like they shouldn't be banned altogether, because you need them for self-defense if someone bad was to come into your house and you need to use a gun to protect yourself. But I think there should be more gun laws and more laws in place. I agree with 99% of the stuff Trump says, but something like gun laws, I feel there should be more of them. At least. Something else. Now, trophy hunting, which Trump was going to which Trump was basically going to lift the ban on hunting down elephants. He has said that that wasn't the case. As soon as he found out about this, boom, he stopped it, because I am very much, and he is very much, against forms of animal cruelty. I feel like, you know, it shouldn't be, you shouldn't really be allowed to go and hunt elephants, I think, because I feel someone who is a very animal lover, I wouldn't want that to happen, but also because it's very unnecessary to change laws that are actually good, and just, you know, muck around with the laws. I feel like the law that was in place against animal cruelty, against hunting elephants, I feel like that didn't really need to be changed, or didn't really need to be, you know, lifted. So I'm glad it's not getting lifted, and I'm glad that is the case. Now, moving on to one of the last things I want to talk about, you know, there's been a lot of things they spoke about, like the royal family. I don't really care that much for her, but Meghan has said that she finds Trump like sexist, misogynistic, all the same things everyone says about him. But he just wished them the best. You know, he's so used to it, he doesn't care, because so many people say it. It's basically fun, basically a hobby, to call Trump all these labels and put all these words and labels on him. But something interesting is people were thinking Trump was unhealthy, even though he has done a health test which proved positive to him being healthy, because Apparently he posted a picture of him eating a burger on social media, and people were trying desperately find things against him. So, oh, he's eating a burger, trying to desperately find bullets to put it in their gun and use things against him. Even though Hillary had a big coughing fit in one of her campaign trails and could barely walk, you're having the cheek to say that Trump is unhealthy, even though he is pretty healthy, He does occasionally eat fast foods, but he isn't the thinnest person either. But that doesn't mean he's unhealthy. That's just you fear-mongering and using fuel, adding fuel to the fire, which is pretty retarded. Look, I overall feel like a lot of stuff that's being brought up was very good. A lot of good points were made in that interview. And I feel Trump is very sophisticated and very good, well-looking, and Piers Morgan also done a very good job asking questions. They also brought up climate change and global warming. It was global warming and now it's getting changed to climate change, whatever fits that modern agenda. But Trump just wants clean air and fresh water, and so do I want the world to be healthy, But I'll end it with this. I really did enjoy the interview. I think that it was a very good one. I'm actually glad I watched it. I'm not sure if we're going to be watching this in English class, which I hope not. But sir, thank you for asking me to watch this. Thank you, because I honest to God loved it. I honest to God thought it was very good, very well done. And thank you for bringing my attention to it. And I'm overall glad I did watch it. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. If you want to share your opinions with the interview, feel free to do all that in the comments below. If there's something that I missed out that you want me to talk about or my opinion on, I will tell you that in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Peace, guys. Have a good one. Da-da-da. Yeah.